Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Delta App One Hub Racing here for round number 11, the penultimate race here in season 28 as we head to Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit. And I can't lie, this is going to be a fantastic race, plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it's going to be an absolute thriller. I can assure you that. My name is Michael Edwards, of course, going to take you through the action, and join alongside me in the commentary box is Max. How's it going, Max?
Hello everyone, I am good. How are you, Mike? First of all.
Honestly, I am feeling very good and very excited for what the prospects of what this race is going to be tonight. Of course, we had the P4 race earlier, and we just come from the P3 race. And from what I saw, both races were very interesting, and obviously P3 was very tense coming towards the end of the race, but I'm expecting P2 to be even closer and even tenser.
Yes, exactly. I have the same opinion there because I think last week we had our crowned our champion for this season, and yeah, this week we are all about the constructor title. All right, you know what I mean. So yeah, the constructors title we have still going on, and obviously also the P3 fight is going into the next round today.
Yeah, of course, the Drivers' Championship here in P2 can't go on to the next round. Of course, last time out, we did see Jacob seal the P2 Championship, but the Constructors is still alive, and we will go through the standings during the break in between qualifying and the race, so you guys get a good feel of what's going on. But the drivers are out there right now. They are on their outlaps, so I think there's no better thing for us to do but to head straight out there on track and jump on board with one of the drivers representing a team that is going for the Constructors in Kinney.
Yeah, so as he starts his lap, I think he did a great job last time out. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep the champion fight alive, but he did a great job, and I'm expecting him to do the same today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kinney, there's been some races which it's looked like it's been absolutely on for him for a brilliant result, and it's kind of slipped away in certain races, whereas Jacob has been Mr. Consistent throughout the season. That's probably hurt Kinney, but in the past couple of races, Kinney has really come to life and started converting those races into big points, which has, of course, put himself and Williams in a bit of a constructors battle with, of course, Jacob and I forgot what team Jacob's in now. I believe he is in.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it was Alpine. I thought it was Alpine, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, Kinney is obviously with Mr. Zondel in a Constructors Championship fight. Now, remember, the championship will stay alive as long as the championship points is less than 38. Of course, 38 is the maximum points you can gain out of a race weekend. So, if Alpine lead by 39 points at the end of this race, they are Constructors Champions. If not, it goes on to the next round, and it's a great start from both of the Williams immediately, putting themselves onto the front row with their first laps as Josh there breaks up the Williams front row lockout, as we got both of the Scuderia Ferraris line astern as they are coming through the final sector. Got Salu following Mokri as we come to the final corner. Mokri going to be the first one across the line, then we'll have Salu, of course, and Mokri up to P9, Salu P11. So not great so far from the Ferraris.
Yes, the Ferraris right now in P10 and P12, P11 right now, and yeah, Josh as always on the top 3 right now. He joined the league a few races ago, and since then he really he was really fast, did a great job, and he's someone who maybe next season could be could have a good chance on the championship too. So it's gonna be more exciting, and yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, Josh came into P2, of course, at the Japanese Grand Prix at round number 6. And he's still within a chance of a top 3 finish in the championship if results go his way in the final 2 rounds. So there's definitely opportunity there for Josh, and we'll see how he's going to get on. Of course, the main battle that we're seeing for that battle for P3 is the 2 admins in Lukey and Larkin, and of course Salu, actually, the 3 admins I should say, all battling out as Salu, Larkin and Lukey. All 3 of them very close on points, and one slip up could mean their chances are completely done.
Yeah, exactly. We will go through the whole standings later on, but we can tell you one thing. Luki right now with 85 points on P3, followed by Solo with 80 points on P4, and Larkin with 78 points on P5. So they are very close together, and I think that they raced really, really hard the last races. And Solo, after finishing outside of the top 10 for 3 races, last time out was on P4. So yeah, I think maybe he finds his way back to the pace, and this makes this fight even better.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Salu, Larkin and Loki over recent races, they've really found themselves alongside each other, especially Larkin and Loki. They found themselves pretty much battling each other every single race in recent times. So it's very close between them. And then, of course, you got Josh as like the outside runner that has really had pace that is comparable to both Kinney and Jacob towards the front. And he's just been absolutely flying since his debut in P2.
Exactly. Sometimes I don't know how he does that. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But if we let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Kinney still in P1, followed by Josh. So not a lot of things have changed here. The Haas in 4 and P5, that's also very solid lap times for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we've already got on par with the P3 pole from Kinney already, so we should be seeing times maybe getting into the low mid 22s, maybe pushing the low 22s in total for a pole position here. But Kinney, of course, the man on the mission, he's got his teammate currently in 3rd, which is fantastic if you are a Williams fan going into the constructors fight, because both Alpines are 10th and 14th respectively.
Yes, and they gotta do a lot of work to get up there and put on a fight. We can go real quick through the engine and gearbox penalties, if you give me a minute.
And that's going to be interesting as well to see who is taking an engine or gearbox penalty here tonight. Of course, this is a track that does provide some good overtaking opportunities. Kinney up by half a tenth in sector 1. So this is a good place to actually take a gearbox or an engine penalty, because you can get overtakes done, and with good strategy you can carve your way through the field. As Kinney now through the chicane, trying to look for the good traction on the exit, and he does get some good traction there. Kinney now middle sector split. Let's see what this is going to be for the Williams. He's marginally up right now. So as Rowe improves, goes at 22.819. So the Welshman currently on provisional pole position. Kinney looking to respond as we come into the final sector. And let's see what Kinney will do. We got Josh on the outlap. We got Zondel coming to the line right now. Zondel goes provisional pole with a 22.7. So Zondel looking for a big result here. Through the final corner comes Kinney, and Kinney will be to the line. Goes P2.
Yeah, that's gonna be important for them to start ahead of everybody and try to make their way through the race, and they will try to stay at their positions, of course. And I think that's gonna make the fight more interesting because, as you mentioned, you have a lot of opportunities to overtake. We have a lot of straights where when you go through the corner and you nail the exit, and you can gain a lot of time on the exit and possibly do an overtake. So I think this will be like the strategy, and the ERS management, of course, will play a big role here.
Larkin up to P7 as we got Josh that hasn't long started his lap. He's just come through the first sector. We didn't get the sector time up, unfortunately, but Josh is on a flyer lap. So let's see if he can break up the Williams pairing at the front. And look at the gap between Rowe and Kinney. Only 4 thousandths of a second between them. Incredibly close.
That's absolutely close. So yeah, he's gonna not gonna make it easy for them to stay there at their 1 or 2 position. And yeah, I think with 6 minutes left,
Josh nearly 3 tenths up. He's 2 tenths up. He's 273 thousandths of a second up on his time right now. Can he find more time in the final sector? Of course, this is looking like it could be provisional pole from the Mercedes as he comes through the final corner, running low on his ERS. He has a little bit of deployment now to the line, and there's going to be a 22.63 tenths improvement there from Josh, and that is provisional pole from the man in the Mercedes, and he has broken up that loving at the front with the 2 Williams drivers.
Yes, that's over a tenth quicker than Mr. Zondel's lap was, but I'm pretty sure with 6 minutes to go, he will try to set another lap and get this P1 again.
Yeah, currently on board with Alexa. Now, remember at the start of the season, Alexa had incredible pace. Of course, was the driver that probably should have walked away from round number 1 at Spain with a race win, but unfortunate timing of the safety cars just meant that Alexa just lost all footing in that race. But Alexa, early on in the season, showed great pace, but you see a snap there through the final sector, and that's Alexa's time over and done with. But Alexa, another driver that could be looking to try and get themselves at the order, and you just saw it there. The invalidation on the lap, that is something that the drivers and everything are going to have to keep an eye on, because when you come into the pit lane, you can pick yourself up a track limit warning. So make sure you got your races recorded so that you are able to put that into the stewards if you do get hit by that unfortunate glitch in the pit lane.
So that's interesting. So maybe we can have some decisions later on made by the stewards that will decide not also the race result, or maybe also the Constructors' Championship.
Absolutely, Alfredo up into P5, and that's more like it from the Alpines trying to respond to the Williams driver. Of course, Jacob right now all the way down in P15. And the question will be, is Jacob going to go all out for the constructors? That is going to be the call. Whether or not he will remains to be seen. Right now he's down in P15. He might be taking it easy, but I'm sure he'll want the Constructors' Championship just as much as he wanted the drivers.
Yes, I agree with that. I think he needs to pick up his pace a little bit for that, but I'm pretty sure he will. He showed that in the last races, and yeah, maybe he takes it a little bit easier right now. But I'm not completely convinced with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Rowe marginally down in the middle sector, so it needs a big final sector here, does the Welshman. as he comes through now towards the penultimate corner. And now into the final corner. What can the Haas deliver as we come across the line? Is going to be an improvement? No, marginally slower, unfortunately, for Rowe. And honestly, we are running out of time here in qualifying. I don't think Rowe is going to get another lap in unless he's fueled up for 2 laps. Maybe he can have a cool down and then go again, as we got 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Josh leads the way. He is topping the times, we're 22.6. Then we got the Williams pairing of Zondel in P2 with Kinney in P3, Rowe just in behind in P4, Alfredo P5. Then we got Lukey in P6, Mokri P7, Rich in P8, Lark in P9, Chris rounding out the top 10. Then of course we got Salo in 11th, Alexa 12th, Nicholas 13th, Jonas 14th, Jacob down in 15th. And then, of course, we got Lawrence at the back of the field in 16th place. And I believe Alexa's just started a lap. So we'll jump on board with the Aston Martin. And let's see what the Sector 1 time is going to say. And it's over a 10th and a half up in Sector 1. Now, that is the kind of improvements that Alexa needs.
Yes, exactly. And also, Solo has to pick up a little bit of this pace. Because if he wants to get this 3rd place in the championship, he needs to... absolutely needs to finish before the other 2, Luque and Larkin, and right now it doesn't look like that. But as we mentioned, there are a lot of opportunities to overtake on this track.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of opportunities indeed as we come through the final sector now with Alexa. Was looking to try and break into the top 10 and into the 22s. Here is the Aston Martin as we come through the final couple of corners into the penultimate corner now. Flat out 7th gear through the final corner now. Dropping it down to 4th. Looking for that rotation. ERS to the line. 22.8 plus Alexa P5.
What a lap. Great pace and no invalidations. That's good for Alexa, and that's what we want to see.
And I just saw Rowe was marginally up in Sector 1, but he's a full second down in Sector 2. So I think Rowe, doing his best to try and save up that battery. Because, of course, if he is going to go again, he's going to need all the battery he can get. As we have Kinney on a lap right now, Sector 1 time. He's 5 thousandths down in Sector 1. So Kinney going to be looking to find all the time in Sector 2 and 3. Burning the ERS. DRS are wide open as we run down into the hard braking zone at the chicane. And of course going to be the scene of plenty of overtaking opportunities. Of course the second bite of DRS, of course the detection point, we're just crossing it now. And then of course you got the activation running down in towards turn number, I believe it's turn number 9, around the swooping left-hander, and you can see Kinney up by 900ths of a second now. So finding time in that middle sector. Currently it's enough to get ahead of Zondel, but not enough to get ahead of Josh in the final sector now, as we come underneath the hotel and through the final couple of corners. Kinney, the checker flag has fallen. So all the lap times now will be coming through. Jonas will start from P15 through the final corner. Will come Kinney. What will Kinney do? Will it be provisional pole for Kinney? No, it's a front row for the Williams right now. And Josh is going even quicker in behind us. We got the Ferraris on the line. Mokri, P9. Salo up to P5. Big lap there from Salo. Zondel displaces his teammate. But here comes Josh. Improved lap time. It's a 22.3. What a lap there from Josh. Absolutely laying the gauntlet down as we got Lukey now through the final corner to the line. P3 for Lukey. That's going to help him massively in his battle for what is the top 3 championship. And Larkin has gone for a spin. Unfortunately, he's facing the wrong way. Just coming through towards the penultimate corner. So that is heartbreak for Larkin. Jacob, I think he's on a cooldown. Yes, he is. And that is qualifying over and done with. Is going to be Josh starting from pole position. And I just clocked as well Alfredo jumping up into P2.
look at these times, the P2, P3, P4, they are like a few hundredth away from each other. That's what we want to see. That's some really close racing there, and it's gonna be interesting later on in the race how they will manage everything, and also their ERS. And yeah, it's looking good for Luki. He's on P4, Solo on P7, and Larkin is on P13. So this looks really good for Luki.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Loki in his quest to try and clinch P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Of course, Kinney going to be looking to confirm himself in P2 and really put the pressure on in the constructors. But let's run through the order here in qualifying. It is, of course, Josh taking pole positions with a 22.3, 3 ahead of Alfredo, who will join him on the front row. Then we got Mr. Zondel in P3 with Luki in P4, Kinney P5 with Rowe in P6, Salo P7, Alexa P8, Jacob P9, and Mokri rounding out the top 10. Outside of the top 10, we have Rich, Nicholas, Larkin, Chris, Jonas, and of course, Lauren's going to be starting from the back of the field in P16.
Alright, that's qualifying done. And I think now it's time for our sponsors and partners.
Yes.
As we wait for the drivers to start to sort out the orders. So, we have first of all our title sponsor, Delta.app. This is for over 18s only. If you want to make all your investments in one app, make smarter decisions like the world's top investors, and track your journey to success with Delta. If you use the command !Delta in Twitch chat or click the link on the YouTube description, you will be able to use it to track your investments. Next off, we got Next Level Racing. These are providing some prizes each season. I shouldn't do that. So they provide prizes the season Next Level Racing. They are doing, I think they're doing the gloves and everything you need for sim racing, all the equipment. Sim racing setups. Next off. Yes, if you want to add something, it's my first time, guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously, some fantastic rigs and everything with Next Level Racing, but go ahead.
Okay, let's try the next one. Sim racing setups. They provide a pro setup bundle for F1 25, and these are created by the top esports drivers of the world. And they offer every setup, so dry, intermediate, and wet setups, and also safe and esports setups, so you get an aggressive and not so aggressive one, strategy tips, and track map where you can use your ERS doing qualifying, for example. And they are providing vouchers for the weekly driver of the day winners and the driver of the season. And you can also use the code for OneHub Racing to get 5% off their setups. Then we have Pure Sim Gear. They sponsor the league by providing sim racing socks and gloves to the drivers with the most fastest laps and poles over the course of the season. You can also use the code OHR10P to get 10% off in their sim racing socks and gloves. Then next off we got Vespertine. They support our official apparel here and also provide some great merch prizes. And in the end we have the SimGrid. They basically run our seasons through their community and platform. Without them, we would use Google Docs and Sheets and Excel lists and whatever. So they are great. They are for managing all the stats and the season and standings. And I think that is it.
Yeah, and of course our charity at the Mental Health Foundation. So if you do need to talk, make sure you do talk, because it is very, very important to do so. And I'm not gonna lie, Max, so I mean, there I was, obviously getting ready to go through the obviously the press conference and the rivalries, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone from P2 has gone into the press conference and that, or have unfortunately responded in the rivalries.
Oh no, that's too bad. But we can at least. I found the engine and gearbox penalty, so we can at least talk about that real quick. So in the P2 tier, we don't have a lot drivers right now to take their penalties. It's Psycho with an engine penalty, Nicholas with an engine penalty, and Josh with a gearbox penalty. So he won't start at the P1 today.
Very interesting indeed. So Josh taking a gearbox penalty. It does mean that he will start P6, which is going to be very crucial for him. Obviously, one thing that we could do is, of course, look at the championship. So let's have a little look and see what's going on over there. So you can see Jacob, of course, top in the championship. It is confirmed. It is done. Kinney obviously has a gap of 39 points to Lukey in third. As long as Kinney has a gap of 22 by the end of tonight, Kinney will be confirmed in P2. Then, of course, the battle for P3 in the championship is where things are really going to get a little bit heated, because there's only 7 points separating Lukey in third and Larkin in fifth. And then you've got to look at Josh. And obviously, since Josh has come in, first, fourth, 16th, and third. So Josh has had one poor race. The rest have been very high scoring, which has climbed all the way himself up into 6th place immediately. And he is only 11 points off of Larkin. So a big result here for Josh. Maybe a bit of a shaky one for the likes of Lukey or Salo and Larkin. And Josh can really get himself in this battle for P3. Obviously, Zondel there as well on 60 points. Not too far behind as well. So a big result for the pair of them could put themselves in that top 3 conversation come the final race of the season. Alfredo on 55 points in 8th place. And of course, we got Mokwi in 9th on 47. 41 points for Papa Squanch in 10th. And of course, we got Lawrence on 38 points. 33 for Adame. And then, of course, we got Chris on 31 points in 13th. Rowe on 25 points. Rich on 23. 21 points for Jonas. Siko on 16 points. 15 points for Alexa. And then, of course, we got Santi on 0 points. And, of course, we got Nicholas on -3. That's how things are looking in the Drivers' Championship. Let's have a look at the Constructors real quick. I just want to make sure that I am not going to be missing the start of the race. So bear with me there 2 seconds, guys. As I just wanted to make sure that I did not miss the start. But yeah, Alpine lead the way. They're on 225 points. And then got Williams on 184. So there's 41 points separating first and second in the Constructors. The Constructors can be wrapped up here tonight. Alpine need a gap of 39 points by the end of tonight to be Constructors champions. That's the gap that is needed. 39 points. They have a 41 point gap right now. They need a gap of 39 points to seal the Constructors Championship.
Exactly, and it's I think right now it looks a little bit like the championship will go into the next and then last round of this season, but we never know, and yeah, maybe they will do it.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, I mean, Williams there in P2 looking to close that gap down. Obviously, you got Mercedes there in P3. What could have been if Josh was there from the start of the season, I wonder. Obviously, on 157 points right now. Of course, they still have a chance of maybe getting themselves into a second, but of course, that provides a big result for Josh and Lukey versus Zondel and Kinney here tonight. Obviously, Ferrari in P4, they're on 127 points, ahead of McLaren in 5th on 111. Then we've got a big gap back to the RBs on 59 points, 56 points for the Haas team, 53 points for the Red Bull Racing team. So 3 teams very close proximity to each other in the standings. And of course, we got the Aston Martin team and of course the Saubers bringing up the rear. So that is how the championship is looking. Of course, we know what the gap needs here tonight. The gap, 39 points. If Alpine can make sure they walk away here tonight with a gap of 39 points, they are the Constructors' champions. Will it be back-to-back races where we crown champions, or will it go down to Las Vegas? I mean, we got 29 laps, or 28 laps, sorry, of the Abu Dhabi circuit to go around, and I'm not gonna lie, mate, I can't call it, Max. I can't call it.
Same here, same here. It's it looks pretty close right now after the qualifying. So yeah, we will have to wait if we want to or not. We will have to wait until the end of the race. And just real quick before we start, I looked at the interviews, and yes, for the P3 fight, Solo is not very sure. He says his chances are pretty slim to have a good race. Larkin, however, says he hopes to be better than the last week for sure. So yeah, we will see how they're gonna do in the race, because it's always qualifying is one thing, but race is another thing, and you have to manage a lot more. And maybe some drivers can do that a little bit better than other drivers. That's absolutely normal, and yeah, I'm pretty excited now to see the start of the race. A lot of things have to be decided today.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I believe you're going through the pre-race interviews. Am I correct?
Exactly.
With that one?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Salo and what's called Lukey Larkin. I mean, those three are the guys we're keeping an eye on for the battle for P3. But Josh with that outside chance of closing in. Same with Zondel. And then, of course, we got the Constructors' Championship fight. It's going to be very, very interesting. Mokri's thoughts and feelings coming in tonight. I mean, he said not great, but not terrible. So he's kind of feeling a bit average about his chances here in Abu Dhabi, which, I mean, Mokri's a fantastic driver. So it'd be easy to see where he's going to stack up after the first round of pit stops, and just see whether he has doubted himself too much, or whether he should have backed himself more. Rowe saying earlier this week was feeling really good, but he said he's lost some pace somehow though. I mean, judging by his qualifying lap, he didn't lose that much pace. Jonas saying that his practice has looked good, so he's hoping to get some points this week. So Jonas looking to get himself some good points here at Abu Dhabi. And of course, we'll run through more questions in the pre-race interviews through the race itself. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Of course, the penultimate race of the season. It is going to come down now to just rounding out the season as best as you can to go into the next season on a high, because you don't want to go into the next season on an absolute low of results, and every driver will be looking to give it their all for the final couple of races.
Exactly. I'm also pretty excited. How will the teams do over the break until next season? If we had the race start, I'm quite.
Yes, we have the 5 red lights, and lights are out, and we are underway here in Abu Dhabi. Looks like a very good start there for Alfredo, getting a good launch on Zondel, running down into turn number 1, and Alfredo holds on. Lukey now up in the P2, gets the job done on Zondel. Kinney around the outside of his teammate, and Kinney looks to get that done. Josh following Kinney through, looks down the inside, and Zondel's onto the curbing, which is going to drop him down the order. A little bit of argy-bargy going on right now with Josh and Kinney. Side-by-side action with Rowe and Zondel as we run down the DRS straight for the first time here tonight, as we run down into the hard braking at the chicane, side by side between Josh and Kinney, and there's still wheel to wheel, there's still side by side. The battle rages on, and Lukey up in the P2. What a start from him, what a start from Alfredo as well. And then you got Josh and Kinney looking to make some progress up the order as well. Zondel having a terrible start at this race.
Exactly. He's the one of the big losers of the start. Unfortunately, he lost 3 places. The I think the I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. I saw some wheel banging somewhere. It was a, a little bit chaotic. I gotta be honest, but yeah, Alfredo's still in P1. He had a great start, and Luki jumped a position, and Josh already jumped too. So yeah, I'm excited what they can do right now because it seems like they really want to fight.
And heartbreak for Mokri having to come into the pits immediately at the end of lap 1. And Mokri's now going to have to do... I'm hoping that Mokri has 2 sets of hards to go through here, because he's going to have to do hards to the end of this race now to get to the end with decent tyre wear, because the mediums, they will fall away after around 7 laps. So the mediums will start to slip away as we look ahead as Jacob and Salo battle it out into the chicane. On the inside is Salo, but Jacob has the traction all the way around the outside. Jacob up into P7 now, as Alexa's on the back of the Scuderia Ferrari now closing in, using the ERS and the DRS. Going to look around the outside, and Alexa unable to find the traction there to get the move done.
Yes, I just saw a little interesting
switch back. Sorry to cut in there, Alexa. With a lovely little switch back to get the move. Get the move on in towards the final sector. There's still wheel to wheel. There's still side by side. Nothing to separate. I mean, it looks like Salo might just have the edge. Yes, Salo does just about stay ahead of the Aston Martin, as we're getting fastest laps coming in now from the likes of Luki and then Kinney, of course, as the front runners are starting to settle down now, and of course the midfield also beginning to settle.
Yes, and I think it's so important for Solo to like defend his position and also yeah, get every point he can. With Luki being in P2, that's not gonna be an easy race for him. I just saw a little battle a lap ago from Mr. Zontal and Rowe, but yeah, I think it's too late now.
Well, Jacob's going to have a little look down the inside of Rowe right now as we come down in towards the chicane. Jacob slightly deep on entry, but gives the room on the outside for Rowe. But of course, that does compromise both Rowe and Jacob's exit. So Jacob does get that position. Meanwhile, back up towards the front, Luki using DRS has got through on Alfredo. Kinney very happy just sitting behind for the time being. All of them pretty even when it comes to the ERS usage. We got a yellow flag at the back, and I think that is Nicholas. And oh my, down there with him is Larkin, and this is not good for Larkin's P3 chances in the championship. Lawrence taking avoiding action there as Nicholas and Larkin get tangled up with each other. And now Larkin released into P11, but he's now nearly 3 seconds off the back of Rich, who is of course in the DRS train for, well, P1 all the way down to P10. So Larkin now a very long race ahead of him.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it couldn't gone better for Luki. He's now sitting in P1, and his rivals for the 3rd place in the championship are at P8 and at P11. So yeah, good race for him. Unfortunate for Solo and Larkin, but I think this is not over yet. We saw them fight, and I think they really wanna fight.
Yeah, absolutely not. It is definitely not over yet, that is for sure. Meanwhile, Rowe, Jacob and Salo battling out. There's a little bit of contact there between Salo and Rowe. That might have just compromised Salo a little bit too much, because Alexa is now right underneath that rear wing. And Alexa potentially looking to the inside. Yes, here goes Alexa down the inside in towards turn 9. Is this going to be a job done for Alexa? A little bit of a snap there. That's going to allow Salo to carry the momentum all the way around the outside. And Salo's having a look at Rowe as well. Look at this. Salo all over Rowe and tries to go all the way around the outside. Absolute fantastic helicopter cam we got right there as Alexa is trying on the inside of Rowe as well. It has all kicked off in the battle for P7 here. Salo now up in the P7. Alexa's got through on Rowe, and Rowe is into the pit lane.
Yes, excellent from Solo. First he's defending his position, and then he's gaining another one. That's absolutely brilliant. But these last two corners before the really last corner, these two are very tricky. Everyone who does sim racing or real life racing there will know this. You really have to like be very fast, but you have to keep the traction, and this is not going to be any easier with the tires are degrading. So yeah.
Well, we are starting to see splits in the trains now. We got this train for the top four with Luki, Alfredo, Kinney and Josh. Then we got a train for P5 with Zondel, Jacob and Salo. Then we got another 2-second gap back to Alexa, who has Richer Company in behind. Larkin just creeping up onto the back of that train. Of course, Larkin on the hard compound tires. He's got a different strategy, and we're going to see if it's going to pay off for Larkin. Of course, we're not going to find out until later in this race whether the starting on the hards is going to pay off for the McLaren, but he'll be hoping he can do something, especially as the tires of the mediums begin to degrade and fall off the cliff.
So yeah, Larkin is probably doing a little bit of an overcut, as Nicholas also is on that strategy. And yeah, interesting. I mean, everybody else used the medium tire compound, of course, and yeah, I don't know. I think
Brilliant right there from Josh, getting the move done. Sorry to cut in there. Josh getting the move done on Kinney, but they're going to be wheel to wheel, side by side, heading down in towards the chicane. Both of them, DRS, both of them with a bit of ERS to play with. Kinney going to try to outbrake and go all the way around the outside. They're still wheel to wheel between the pair of them. And it looks like it's going to be Josh who might have the traction on the outside, but it looks like Kinney might actually have the slightly better traction. They're still going to be wheel to wheel. They're still going to be drag racing down in towards turn number 9, and it's going to be Kinney that gets that position. But unfortunately for the pair of them, they are now outside that 1 second window of Alfredo as they just get back within it.
yes, and they have nearly the same ERS, the same battery load, so this fighting I think will go on for a little bit.
Speaking of battling, of course, Salo just managed to get through on Jacob up in the P6 now, goes to Scuderia Ferrari, and of course, Salo, one of the drivers fighting for that potential P3 championship position. As we got Luki into the pits, Kinney into the pits, that releases, of course, Josh and Alfredo. The undercut, pretty decent around here as long as you don't come out in traffic, and I don't think either of them will be in traffic, but it is going to be close with Rowe, who pitted, of course, 2 laps earlier, and Rowe's undercut, but you could see him on the back of these two, so this could be a saving grace for Rowe here as we come through turn number 2. Now you're going to see Kinney there just appear in front of Rowe, and Rowe needs to use a bit of battery to get back within the DRS range, and he has done so. So now Rowe is on the back of Kinney here.
Exactly, as we have a little bit of fighting going on in the midfield right now.
Jonas
yes,
and Lawrence.
I think everyone now settled in, have done their strategies. Yes, Solo and Mr. Zonto. Oh,
all the way around the outside goes Salo on Zonto, and he gets the move done. So Salo doing absolutely fantastic, get his way up the order. He's doing everything that he needs to do. Larkin on his alternative strategy. We're just going to have to wait and see what goes on there, but Salo really trying to do everything he can, and Salo is into the pit lane along with Zondel as well as Alfredo and Josh. So we're starting to see the front runners now all in the pit lane, and let's see where Luki and Kinney is going to be relative to the likes of Alfredo and Josh with this 1 lap undercut. So here comes Luki now down the start finish straight, purple final sector from Luki, the fastest lap from Rowe. Luki is going to come out ahead of Alfredo, and Kinney is just going to be behind. And ooh, I'm not sure about this. I mean, this is a strategy that I tried earlier with the double mediums, Didn't work out for me, but Alfredo I know is a much better on his tyres than what I could ever be. So Alfredo could make it work, but this is going to be very interesting now. Alfredo going different to the cars around him, and Alfredo should be able to close up to Lukey, get the move done, then obviously just try his best to pull away, but he might not be able to pull away with the DRS, but just try to stay towards the front of the train until around about lap 15, lap 16, and then maybe we get the undercut there for Alfredo to come onto the set of the hards and get the race lead. As we got a yellow flag in sector 3, and I think that is one of the RBs of Jonas. That's had a bit of a moment there, but yeah, interesting strategy calls going on here in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, absolutely. And I think Solo played a little bluff in the driver questions we read out earlier, because he said if his chance is going to be a little bit rather slim, but he's flying and he's overtaking people right in there. He's really doing a great job, and he's fast. So I don't know about that.
He is indeed fast, is Salo, but unfortunately for the man in the Scuderia Ferrari, he has no DRS, so he's just going to lose and hemorrhage time on these straights, which is going to be quite apparent now. So you're going to see like the gap is around about 3.4 seconds, and you're going to see how much he's going to lose. Of course, it's already lost a tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, running down just towards the chicane, and he's going to lose even more time now as we come through towards turn 9, and there goes Alfredo on Lukey, getting the job done on those medium compound tyres. And there we go, like Salo there lost around about half a second just on this lap alone due to the fact of not having DRS.
It's absolutely crazy what you lose on time if you're not in the DRS here in Abu Dhabi. And yeah, I think that's absolutely crucial. In the train right now, these guys, they are very fast, and also there's Lukey in the train, so I think he will be up in P1 in no time, at least when Alfredo's tires will start to degrade.
Yeah, absolutely, but the thing is, Alfredo's tires, obviously they're going to degrade first, but Alfredo's going to pit first, so he's going to get the undercut on these guys. So Alfredo should be able to come out somewhat decently up the road. So Alfredo potentially could be on for a race win this season. Of course, Kinney currently in P3. We got a Mercedes net P2, P4 with Lukey ahead of his teammate Josh. Salo in a net P6 in this race. We got Larkin and Nicholas battling it out here, coming down in towards turn number 9. And Nicholas now up into the lead of the race. Now, there's no one in between Larkin and Alfredo, so you're going to see that gap begin to fly down. And look at that, Kinney taking the narrower line through turn 9, and it almost paid off for Kinney to get the run that he needed on Lukey, but was unable to do so. So Kinney has to settle in behind the Mercedes or Anissa level up.
So these three are not far away from each other. As we have a yellow flag, but that's
that is Nicholas. And Larkin's in the pit lane. I'm not sure what's happened there with Nicholas, but yeah, he's down the order, and he's got heavy wing damage here from the looks of it, and yeah, he is missing his front right end plate, and that's going to allow Salo to close onto the back of him. And the good thing for Salo is, for the first time in a while, he's actually got DRS.
Yeah, so he can maybe try to go for a little hunt. As Nicholas, as we see, is missing his right end plate, and he still has to pit. So yeah, that's another very unfortunate race for him, unfortunately.
Oh, it's even worse for Zondel right now, because Zondel, I mean, Nicholas still got DRS on Salo, and Zondel can't get through on Nicholas here. I mean, he does have the front wing, so he will have the superior downforce, and there we go, finding that line to get through, but he's definitely lost quite a bit of time to Salo, but just being stuck behind the Sauber. And then of course you got Jacob is going to be closing up, but surely Nicholas will be in the pits by the time Jacob catches up. Back towards the front, however, Alfredo unable to drop the hard runners at this stage in the race, and this is kind of where I would imagine the tyres are beginning to level out between the mediums and the hards.
Yes, exactly. Now we will have a little yes, a little switch if you want in grip. So the medium tires are now degraded. They start to degrade, and the hard tires now will be a little bit faster. So as we have an overtake from
Lukey. Yes, the move done, and Lukey now up into the race lead. Alfredo almost getting overtaken by Kinney as well. Kinney going to use the ERS, burn the battery, use DRS, and he's going to look to the inside line. And look at that, down the inside goes Kinney, and he gets the move done. Now Josh is stuck behind the Alpine, but can Alfredo come back through? No, he cannot. Alfredo is just going to have to settle in for P3 at this moment, but that was a bold and brave move there from Kinney, but he had to get the move done. He couldn't stay behind Alfredo, especially if his tyres are beginning to fall away from him.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, these four drivers in the front, they're putting on a great show for us. Not gonna lie, they all have something to lose. I think because Luki wants to finish on position 3 in the championship, and Kinney and Alfredo they want to have the constructors championship. So
down the inside goes Josh, and he's up in the P3 now, but the run Alfredo could get out of the hairpin could be enough to propel him back into P3, but he's not using the battery. He's not using the battery yet. So Alfredo is going to sit in behind Josh. So Josh now up in the P3. It is a Mercedes double podium as it currently stands. And right now, just judging on the points here tonight, if things stay as they are, which Kinney's going to try to break that by trying to go all the way on the outside of Lukey, unable to do so. If the points stay as they are, if everyone remains in their position, the Williams team will keep the Constructors' Championship alive for another week.
yes, so if everybody stays right now where they are, that's gonna be the problem of next race. Yeah. Interesting that so Kinney and Luke are still one lap earlier than Josh and Alfredo. Alfredo on the medium tires right now. He will eventually lose a little bit of grip, but he is still in the DRS window, so he can compensate that a little bit, which would be critical for him for the championship.
Yeah, as Kinney overtakes Lukey for the race lead, currently on board with Salo, who's charging for the field, getting past Rowe now. The gap 2.5 seconds between Salo and Alfredo. So Salo dragging himself back into conversations, maybe with the undercut, and he might be able to do it. Lukey back through on Kinney as the DRS games begin, as they overtake each other back and forth with DRS, and that is, of course, it's going to help the likes of Salo and Zondo close back up, because if these two are fighting, it's going to bring more drivers back into this fight. And you see Salo now 2.3 off the back, and he's still closing in.
Yes, exactly. They're gonna drag everybody along right now, so everybody will be at the front at what time? As we have a yellow flag, Chris. But I think
and Rose in.
Nothing happened.
Rowe is in, of course. Remember, he did pit early onto those hard tyres. What tyre compound is he going to go on to now? It's got to be a set of the hards, surely. And yes, it is another set of the hard compound tyres. And from personal experience, by the time we get to the end of the race, those hards are going to be absolutely done. So Rowe is going to have to make sure that he does some good tyre saving, does some good tyre whispering to those hard compound tyres to get them to the end in good nick. Chris retires from the race, unfortunately for him, into the pit lane, retiring. Mokwi, of course, in the pits again, obviously trying to make his race work for him. Remember, he did have to pit at the end of lap 1. He's doing the double hard strategy. He's hoping for a safety car to come out to bring him back into play. And right now, I mean, Salo is closing in on Alfredo. Alfredo, though, is losing time to the top 3. So Alfredo could become a sitting duck, and he might bail out and come into the pits at any moment now.
Yes, I would. Yeah, absolutely on it. I would would like to. I would pit in this or the next lap, but on the other side, I'm also not yeah, as fast as these guys and don't have that much experience as these, so they know what they're doing, of course. But yeah, I think now for Alfredo it would be time to yeah, get the pit stop done, because he's losing time right now to Solo.
Yeah, not only is he losing time to Salo, he's also losing time to Josh. There was an opportunity there for Alfredo to maybe use a bit of battery to get back within DRS range, but he elected to not go for it, so he's not going to have DRS down this straight, and he's not going to have it down the next straight, so that could mean a Salo closing up in the chicane. He's not going to be close enough for DRS this lap, but Salo is pushing, and he's bringing Zondel along for the ride.
Yes, and that's something we shouldn't forget, because Zondel is in the Constructors' Championship with Williams, and overtaking Alfredo would mean good points and like yeah, building their lead.
Absolutely, and of course Larkin, remember, he started on a set of hards, he's pitted onto a new set of hards. He has the freshest hard tyres out of everyone. He's 5 seconds off the back of the Salo, Alfredo, Zondel train, as the top 3 are all in the pits.
Yes, exactly. This is interesting now. All the championship contenders are all in the pits right now. It could be down to like the game, as I hope I have the bug here, because I saw Alfredo standing in the pits very long, but I think this was just from my side. So they will go out of the pits side to side nearly.
Well, Lukey has somehow made the pit stop strategy work. He's got 2 seconds on Kinney now. So Kinney and Alfredo must have been held up in the pits somewhat, because they are now some distance away from Lukey, who's just managed to get through on Rich with ease with DRS. Lukey's on course for a race win here tonight.
Yes, that's yeah. Also, he has now Rich and Rowe behind him, so he has a little bit of a yeah, of a gap to everybody else who would want to win the race right now. So yeah, this is gonna be working out for him really good.
So Rich is literally the spanner in the planner. Zondel there gets a 3-second time penalty, but of course that is one of those unfortunate glitch warnings that he's picked up there, so he will be able to pop that into the steward. So of course we will have to wait and see. Of course, if he does pick up another warning, a legit one, then he won't be able to get that removed. But heartbreak there for Zondel. Larkin, he's having a good comeback drive, but he's still not going to be able to outscore Salo or Lukey here tonight.
Yes, I think this race this race is gonna be a little bit tough for him, but there will also be the next race, the last race of the season, so he can. I mean, Vegas is a pretty new track, and a lot of people are not that experienced as with other tracks, so maybe we can profit from that. As Jaco texts into the stream chat, give him a safety car.
Give him a safety car indeed. As Alfredo there gets the move done on row up into P7. Now goes the Alpine. I mean, what's called obviously right now, Salo into the pits. Josh is staying out, which makes me think Josh is going to pit for the mediums at the end. Now, Josh is going to be rapid on those mediums, but how much time is he going to lose by staying out as long as he is?
Yes, and also he might be into some traffic, or maybe even worse, out of the DRS range. So yeah, he's gonna lose some time, I think, but maybe he can drive that out again.
Well, Salo has come out behind Mr. Zondel here, so Jacob as well, about 3 seconds off the back of Salo. Jacob not having a fantastic race here as Luki gets through on Jonas with relative ease with the DRS. It's very interesting what's going on right now. I think if there's a safety car, everything gets thrown on its head, but the way the drivers are running today, it doesn't look likely that we will see a safety car.
Yes, they drive really controlled, we gotta say. We saw some battles today. Yeah, nothing bad happened. A little bit of wheel banging, but that's normal, I guess. Yeah, but they're very clean. You gotta say that. Give it to them. Yeah.
100%. But if I'm larking or if I'm Josh right now, I am praying for a safety car to be deployed.
Yes, exactly. I think that's when a race gets interesting, when half of the drivers really need a safety car and the other half of the drivers is like praying, please don't have a safety car. So yeah, that's where strategies can just like get upside down.
Absolutely, the gap between Josh and Luki right now around about 13 seconds. Kinney's on the back of Jonas, who of course we saw Luki overtake not too long ago. Kinney has a lot of work to do to catch back up to Luki, but we're going to see if Kinney's got the pace to catch up to Luki. Luki, of course, in a net P1 right now. Alfredo in a net P3. Alfredo has to sit in behind Jonas by here, which could open the door for potential attack from Rowe at some point. Salo there ahead as we got a yellow flag. And that is one of the Saubers that has gone around. I think that is Nicholas that has gone around at the back. We're going to be have a little look, and yeah, he's on the grass. He's doing a little bit of lawn mowing. Is Nicholas?
Yes, but no need for a safety car right now. This is going to be an interesting 9 laps we have left. So every time the screen will get a little bit of yellow. Yeah, we will make sure to look into it if it's a safety car or not. Yes, and as Nicholas
another yellow flag, and that is Nicholas off again.
Yes, he underestimated that front wing damage a little bit and went into the wall, but wide runoff area, so everything should be clear.
Right, well, we are set now for the race to the checkered flag. We've got Josh on fresh medium tyres. He's come out directly behind Salo and Zondel. And then 3 seconds up the road from them is, of course, Rowe and Alfredo. Another yellow flag there, and that is, of course, Nicholas again. I think Nicholas may retire as he comes into the pits, and yes, he does. So Nicholas retiring in the pit lane. Heartbreak for the Sauber. His run of being in the minus points continues on for another week. Salo getting through on Zondel. Remember, Zondel did pick up that 3 second with a pit lane entry track limit warning, which of course is unfortunate glitch in the game. So as long as he doesn't pick up another warning, he should be able to get that penalty removed. So this is technically a 4 position. That's the way we're going to look at it, and that's the way we're going to see it. As Josh doing everything he can on those fresh mediums, closing right up to the back of Zondel, and Josh needs to absolutely fly here. Salo sets the fastest lap of the race. Fantastic from him. And the question is going to be now, who outside the top 10 is going to go for the fastest lap?
That's a good question. I think maybe I think Moki could go for the fastest lap because, you know, every point matters, and the Ferraris are in P4 right now. They have a lead to the McLaren, but I think, yeah, I mean, Larkin in P9. Okay, I mean, points wise, we will. I think Ferrari will be safe, but yeah, maybe just to make sure.
Josh closing in on Zondel, who's closing in on Salo. Zondel going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. That could open the door on the inside for Josh here as he tries to get the traction down. He's on the ERS. He's trying to burn a bit to draw alongside, but he's not able to do so. So he's going to have to tuck in behind the Williams, and Salo, he's steadily closing up to Alfredo and Rowe, who are of course battling for P3 on track right now. Kinney's within DRS of Lukey now, so Lukey hasn't got the same pace as Kinney here. So we could see Lukey versus Kinney for the race win. We got a big old fight going on now for the final spot on the podium.
Exactly, and it would be, I think at least for Rowe, it would be a great finish. It would be his first podium this season, and
Josh gets through on Zondel there down the inside in towards turn number 5, and he does get that move done. But look at this, Zondel trying to come back, but he's out of VRS. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there as we head down into the break-in, and look at that, it is 2x2 like Noah's Ark coming through the chicane as we got yellow flags and ghosted cars all over the place. We didn't get a good angle on that due to the horrible broadcast camera, but Salo is now all the way down to P7. Salo's had a big moment as Alfredo and Rowe side by side again. Josh is getting through up into P5. Salo back through on Zondel. I think Zondel might have wing damage here. Does he have wing damage? Yes, he does. He's missing that front left end plate. So Zondel now with wing damage been overtaken by Jacob.
Oh, that's absolute heartbreak. But
oh,
yeah.
Rowe's out of the race. Safety car, safety car. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a safety car.
Oh no. 6 laps to go and we got a safety car and Rowe is out of the race. That's heartbreak. That's absolute heartbreak. I mean, this would have been a really great result for him, and of course everybody is going into the pits right now. And I saw some soft tires. I think, yeah, it's clear what we're gonna see now.
Ladies and gentlemen, lap 24 of 29, the safety car has been deployed. Lukey is currently in the race lead, Kinney in second, Salo in third. I would imagine that they will all come into the pits. Maybe not Salo because he probably wants the track position, but maybe with Lukey and Kinney, they'll jump into the pits and put on a fresh set of soft tyres. We got Alfredo on fresh sauce. We got Josh fresh sauce. Alexa stayed out on the hards. Jacob on sauce. Zondel, who of course got that front wing repaired as well. He is going to be on the fresh sauce also. Larkin on fresh sauce. Lawrence staying out there on the hard compound tyres. Jonas fresh sauce. Rich fresh sauce. And then we got Mokui on fresh medium tyres.
Yes, so we have hard runners and soft runners, and we have this pair of soft runners which are divided by one hard runner. So yeah, that could could yeah, possibly have generate a little bit of chaos there, but I think
Yeah,
we're gonna
top
see
two's
some
in.
fastest laps.
The top
in
two,
next race.
the top two are
As
in.
they go into the pits, yes.
Does Salo
but I
stay
think-
out? No, Salo's in.
Yes, which I think is the right decision to make here. I mean, these old hearts, they are holding nothing against these fresh softs, so yeah. Absolutely right decision to drive into the pits right now.
Front wing change for Salo as well. It's going to drop him further down the order. Jacob coming down the start finish straight. Zondel is in the pits. I don't think he got his front wing repaired, or maybe he's going for the fresher of the soft tyres. So an interesting call for Zondel here, because he's effectively going to try and he's going to give up track position to Jonas. And there's the front wing change for Zondel. So there we go, confirmation there. He must have forgot to have his front wing change on. Yes, and that I'm just trying to do the math real quick. Just trying to do the math
Yes.
for the constructors.
Yes.
At this moment in time,
Yeah.
Williams are picking up 17 points. Alpine are picking up 14 plus 8, 22 points. Alpine right now are on course for the Constructors' Champions. So Alpine are in prime position here.
Yes, that would be a great finish for them to possibly get a constructors championship in the very last race of the season, in the next race. So yeah, but couldn't have gone better for them. Of course, yeah, Mr. Zonto, a little bit of heartbreak there also, with possibly forgetting to change the front wing in his pit stop.
Well, let's see. We're still under the safety car conditions. Lap 26 to 29 as we're about to go on to. The field will bunch up. Safety car will be in at the end of this next lap. So we're going to have 3 laps of racing to go. Will it be Luki? Will it be Kinney? Alfredo? Josh? Who will be on the top step? Will it be Alexa holding on with those hard tyres into a good position? Obviously not with the penalty, it won't be, but maybe it is a penalty that is unjustified. Will Jacob be able to hold on to P6? Will Larkin be able to climb up the order along with Salo? Will Zondel be able to come back through the field and get himself a good result? Time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, put your bets, place your bets in the chat right now. Who are you backing for the race win, the podium positions, and will Alpine seal the Constructors' Championship here tonight?
Yes, as Ryder already did that, he's putting his money on Luki winning, and I'm with him on that, because Luki was whole race he was really fast, and he did the right strategy calls. He stayed at the front, and yeah, for him I think it would be absolutely great to finish here at P1.
Yeah, I mean, Luki's driven absolutely fantastically here today. However, we have to remember that Kinney did close the gap down on him when the gap was about 2 seconds. So Kinney potentially could be quicker, but Luki's defense that we've seen so far from him in this race has been absolutely incredible. So Luki going to look to hold on, because it looks like Kinney might just have the edge on him in terms of pace around here. But time will tell as Luki backs up the pack as we get ready to go back to green flag racing.
Yes, I think this restart is going to be so important.
When does Luki go? Luki continues to back up the pack as we come through the penultimate corner. And he's going to go out the final corner. That is what I'm thinking right now. Out the final corner. And here we go. We're back to green flag racing. Luki gets us underway once again. And Kinney not dropped at all, as the guys on the soft tyres really are loving life right now with the grip that they do have, but remember, the soft tires, they will wear out quicker. And look at this, Josh carrying the momentum, the speed all the way around the outside of Alfredo. What a potential overtake here from Josh down the inside. Job done. And the Mercedes now up into P3 as we got Jacob there getting through on Alexa. Larkin, he's just waiting for that opportunity to get through as well. And will he have a little look on Alexa? Down the inside in towards the chicane. No, he's going to sit in behind and potentially get the run here on the exit. But he's a little bit trapped in behind, and now Larkin on the ERS. But so is Alexa. Alexa going to cover the inside line. Larkin trying to find a way through. Larkin down the inside, and he's going to get up into P6. Salo all the way around the outside as well through Alexa. What a overtake there from Salo. And now, with just a few short laps to go, DRS will come into play. It's all going to be about who can manage the ERS, who has DRS at the right moment. Right now, Luki is leading the race.
Yeah, so I think that's right now. I mean, Kinney now has a little gap from 3/10 as Josh is right behind him, also closing up. They're all in a DRS train. And maybe it just comes down to who is at the, who can overtake at the best moment in the last lap. So this is gonna be so interesting. They're so close together and they are fighting very hard, but also fair, I gotta be honest.
Absolutely, they're fighting hard and fair. And here comes Kinney with DRS, getting the job done for the race lead. Jonas getting through on Alexa. Looks like Zonda will be the next one to get through on the hard runner. Now we have Alfredo on the back of Josh, but not going to get the run that he needs. But can Luki come back through on Kinney? Luki going to look down the inside. No, he's going to sit in behind. Smart from Luki. He wants DRS on the last lap. ERS so is kind of equal between them. Josh has a bit more ERS to play with. This could go anyone's way here. It's all going to be about who has the ERS and who will have the DRS at the right moment.
Yes, as I look at the ERS, and right now Josh has the most DRS. I think he saved a little bit this lap and will now deploy it in lap 29 in the last lap. And also I think, you know, there are gonna be a little bit of DRS games right now because of course you needed to overtake and it's so powerful around here. And yeah, maybe Luki can use that right now.
Oh, as Jacob looks on the inside of his teammate in the Alpine battle for P4. Jacob now up into P4, his teammate demoted down to P5, back to the front though. Here comes Luki with DRS. He's going to get the move done. Josh is going to have to sit in behind, but Josh will have more ERS to play with. In fact, Kinney has the most ERS, and Kinney is going to deploy. But Luki's got a fantastic launch out of the chicane. But will DRS and ERS help Kinney? All the way around the outside, maybe. Luki covers the inside, around the outside. Will go Kinney as they are wheel to wheel. And Kinney finds the traction, goes cruising all the way around the outside. And Kinney looks on course to take the race win. How close it was for Luki, but Kinney just making sure he had the battery. Contact there as Josh and Jacob come in together. And that is going to allow Alfredo through.
What a race.
And through the final corner, Kinney will come through to take the victory ahead of Luki. Alfredo P3, Josh P4, Salo P5, Jacob P6, Larkin P7, Jonas P8, and then of course we had Zondel P9. But wow, what an end to that race right there. And I got to do the math again because I think now the Constructors' Championship is still alive.
Yes, that's right. Rydock said Luki's best chance is the second DRS straight, and I think that's absolutely right. It's incredibly tricky to. There are two DRS straights, right? Right behind.
let us run through the final results and classifications. Here is Kinney with the race win. Lukey in P2 with the fastest lap ahead of Alfredo, who completes the podium. Josh in P4 with Salo in P5. Jacob in P6, Lark in P7. Jonas P8, Mr. Zondal P9, and Rich rounds out the top 10. Outside of the top 10, we have Lawrence, Moqui with that final point paying position, and of course Alexa. Our non-finishers were Ro, Nicholas, and Chris. The fastest lap outside the top 10 does go to Lawrence here, but the fastest lap inside the top 10 goes to Lukey. And I'm not gonna lie, I believe with a P1 and a P9, 24 points gained for Williams, and of course 14 plus 8, 22 gained for Alpine. I believe the gap, as I'm just quickly gonna get that up real quick because I'm very interested. I believe the gap was 41 coming into tonight, which might actually just have them as the constructors champions. But of course, let us not forget that there may be a possibility that Zondel can get that 3-second removed, which keeps it alive.
I think this race is be decided by the by the last laps, and absolutely awesome. I mean, I did never see that never ever dare see that in my life, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, so right now the gap is 39 points, but if Zondel can get his 3-second removed, then the championship does stay alive. So right now, provisionally, it is going the way of Alpine provisionally right now. But before we head out for the night, do you want to give us your driver of the day and what questions you want to ask him?
I gotta go with Lukey. I mean, he in the end P2 with the fastest lap, but he did everything right today. And yeah, I wanna ask, yeah, how does it feel to to be in such a race which is decided in the last laps? And yeah, what was your pulse in that last laps?
Very interesting question, a very worthy nomination as well. I'm going to go a little bit outside the box by here. A driver that had a good result, was in a lot of battles, and I'm going to go for Salo for my driver out of the day. And my question to Salo will be, incredible result here tonight. It seemed like he was right in the mix of things throughout battling with everyone. What was your thoughts, especially in that middle stint when you was battling the likes of Zondal and Jacob? What was your thoughts, my friend? And that is going to be that. Of course, we do have the P1 action coming along in just a moment's time. But before we go, run through our sponsors and partners one more time, of course, to Delta.app, our title sponsor. Of course, Next Level Racing, sim racing setups, pure sim gear, Vespa Twin, and of course Sim Grid and the Mental Health Foundations. We will be back for the final race of the season around Las Vegas next week. Will the constructors be wrapped up in tonight, or will it be decided and go on in the stewards? That is the big question. But from myself, Michael Edwards, and from Max, we'll catch you next week for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Until then, guys, it's goodbye from the pair of us.
Goodbye.